What's going on, guys? Clifton Denny with On Your Own Outdoors. Hey guys, so today we're here to talk about another backpack. The one we've got today is made by Insight. It's the Vision Bow Pack. So the cool thing about this backpack, before we even start on it, is that it's got a bow holder. Right? It's got a bow holder. You know what I mean? So anyways, I did a pack review here a couple of weeks ago, and I had a guy email me and ask me if I would do one of these packs. So again, like a lot of times I end up down at Max Prairie Wings. I go talk to Jody. They've got them, so I grabbed one, and here we are now, right? So anyways, we're going to talk about this backpack. It is a large backpack, right? It has basically just as much room as you would have in some of your other backpacks or in a lot of your other backpacks, with the difference being that it carries your bow. So where I think this thing would be really clutch is if you are a lock-on hunter, right? You've got your stuff already set up. It's already in a tree. You're a private land guy, something like that, right? So you've got a lock on, you've got your set, blah, blah. All you got to do is carry in your stuff for that day. I think this thing's going to be awesome. Another real awesome way is you guys that like to hunt out in the Midwest or something like that. Are you ground and pound guys? I think this backpack's also going to be awesome for you because you can put everything on your back. You've got your bow, you've got all your gear, you move out and you're good to go. So what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of go through this thing. So I'm going to grab it, move it up here. I'll be shifting it back and forth so that we can kind of see everything that this bag has to offer. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to move the camera a little bit closer so we can get a zoomed in version and we can go through all these pouches and everything with this backpack so y'all can see what all it has to offer. Man, that real tree camouflage is so good with all this foliage on the trees, it makes it harder to see even in the video. But anyways, let's go ahead and go through this, right? So number one, you've got the front of it. We've got the two little drink pouches. I would probably pull those off if it was myself just because they're kind of dangling around and I don't think it's anything that I would want there. But it does have cinch straps so you can cinch those all the way up and then they're not dangling around and, you know, swinging whenever you're walking through the woods. You've got this outer piece right here. Again, I like to talk about everything I would do with a backpack. For myself, I would probably end up putting my camera arm on the outside of this backpack just because it's got a nice little place right here that I can put it in there and cinch it down. Moving in towards the backpack, this is one cool thing. I love this about a backpack if they create a shelf. Now, to a lot of people, maybe that's not a big deal. To me, it is. The only reason I say that, if I've got this thing hanging on a tree like this and I've got my grunt call and stuff like that, I can take that and set it right here and it's kind of out of my way, but it's still like sitting on a shelf just for me to reach over and grab instead of having to dig around in my backpack. And then let's be honest, I mean, it's kind of like a little tray table. Midday, you want your sandwich, just take your sandwich out, put it out there, and go back to eating it, shoot your deer, go back, grab your sandwich, eat it, and then shoot another one, right? Why not? So anyways, you've got this here. Inside of that, it's got this, it's like a little sleeve pocket thing. The cool thing about it is it's kind of bendable. You can see there kind of how you can form it. It's got a wire up in the top. So if you had something that you wanted to put in this little pouch, say that you wanted to unclip it, because that's an option too. You can unclip it and hang it down, and now you've got this pouch right here. So another option for that would be, once I'm set up, I could drop my rangefinder in it, I can drop my grunt call in it, and now it's just sitting there in like a little holder that's easy to get to. I know where it's at, and I'm not sitting here fiddling around inside of my backpack to get it out. So that is a super awesome feature there that I know I certainly would use. So kind of push that down. Going on next, inside of here, you've got two little sleeves up top. Again, talking about myself, I would probably end up with my face paint in there, extra broadhead, that kind of thing. Replacement blades, I like to carry them because I like to shoot a lot. And then it's got another zip pouch right here. Then I'll zip this one up. I really like that shelf option. That's a pretty big deal that, to be dead honest with you, I didn't know about until I started this video just now. So learn something new every day. I really like those bags that give you that shelf. It just gives you an extra place to set something down. And if you hunt as much as I do and you spend as much time in the tree as I do, that is clutch. So you don't have to worry about trying to find somewhere to hang it. You know what I mean? Just set it down on top. So moving on to the next one, open up this one. So the cool thing about this is it has these two little deals on the side. It's actually kind of nifty. Every pouch in this operates almost like a shelf where you can have it opened up, have your stuff inside, and then as you pull your stuff out, you can kind of set it there on top. So that's an awesome design too. Inside here, I would put my tree hangers, my camera, all that, because it's a larger pouch. back here on the back of it. It's got the kind of sleeve that I always talk about, guys, that I like to stick my camera arm down in just to keep the metal from tangling. But it's it's kind of like mesh. It's not a full fabric, but it's like a rubber mesh. So you could probably still do that with this backpack. Again, I think the home run with this one is just everything kind of works as a shelf. It does give you the same option with this pouch as it did with the last one, where you can unbuckle it and hang it all the way down so that you have the accessibility here. And again, with this shelf thing, everything in this bag turns into a shelf. It's pretty nifty. So we'll go ahead and zip that one back up. And then finally, you've got this little pouch that's up top, this little zipper thing here. And everybody knows by now, if you've seen any of my bag reviews, in my personal opinion, that's where your quick release goes. Just quick release right there. Put it right there. You don't have to worry about it. You know what's on top. If you get in a bind and you're walking in, you're walking out, I like to hit the grunt call when I'm walking in, just because it kind of deters them. I think it covers up my sound some. So if you're walking, you're hitting your grunt call, and all of a sudden you hear the leaves crunching, and here he comes, you can drop the bag, get your bow out of it. You know your quick release is right here. I just like using that pouch for my quick release. If you don't listen to anything else I ever say in any of my bag videos, quick release. So anyways, moving on. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the big deal with this backpack, and the reason why so many guys are going to this style backpack. And it is because you can carry your bow. So how awesome is that? I actually brought my bow out here. So we're going to go ahead and go grab it, and we're going to put this thing in here. So again, guys, I have the PSE Stealth Air Mach 1. That's the bow that I'm shooting. And so we're just going to play with this thing, figure out how it goes. So I'm not even going to take my stabilizers off of it. I have long stabilizers on my bow. It's not necessarily my hunting setup, but it's what I have on there right now. So we're just going to roll with it and see how it works. And then inside, I don't know if you can see that there. Yeah, you can see it right there. There's a little clip. What I would suggest is make sure you wrap that around your bow. Now we are set up. So if you're one of the guys that hunt out west or whatever and you like all the straps, it does give you the waist strap as well as your chest strap. You tighten that dude down. I'm not going to because I don't like them, but you're set. So, you know, if I was heading out on my 2-mile hike and I've got my lock on already put up, so I don't have a reason to be toting a stand around with me, boom, bow's in, it's secure. I can jump around, do whatever. It's not going to do anything. The only thing that I would be concerned about, and really it's not that big of a concern because it's about head high. So, you know, my bow is a longer axle, but you get a shorter axle bow, and it's down here. One thing that I am surprised about, let me step back, is this. The way that they designed this backpack, the bow does sit, even if I snug this against me, right? The bow sits far enough behind your head that you don't have to worry about, you know, it banging off your head all the time. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, some of these climbers that we use, you're up here like this, you know, trying to walk so that it's not bouncing off the back of your head whenever you're walking through the woods. So this thing's actually extremely comfortable, and I like it. It's not bad. I'm surprised. So I didn't think that I would care for it, but I actually do. And so I'm gonna take it back off, hang it back up here so I can kind of show you one thing. I shoot a back bar on my bow. So that was one thing I was curious about. Just so you guys are aware, I had not put my bow in here until I did the video. And I do that kind of stuff on purpose in these videos, guys, because I want to be here learning with you guys. I don't want to just run off at the mouth and say something about a bow and I don't know anything about it. Oh, look, see the strap? I forgot this one. It comes over and would completely secure it so that your bow doesn't fall out, right? But what I wanted to talk about real quick while we've got it up here, I run a back bar on my bow. So basically you got your stabilizer out the front and then you've got your back bar, it kicks off. So I run a 10-inch off the front. So you can see how it looks like my bow's kind of sticking out to the side of the bag. That's great, right? So I know you'd be like me, be like, that's a negative. but it's actually not. And the reason that I say that is because what I was worried about is that I would get it and I would end up having to remove my stabilizers to put it inside of my pack, right? So I like to shoot long stabilizers. If you watch any of my hunts, there's a reason for that. If they're at 40 or 50, I like to shoot. So, and I shoot a lot, so I feel comfortable with that shot, right? So one thing that I was worried about was in order to make this bag work for me, that I would have to remove those, and I did not. So this is what I was talking about. I've got a 10-inch front bar, and then I've got a 6-inch back bar, both made by Redline, right? And so I was concerned that once it got in there, I wouldn't be able to close the bag and actually be able to haul my bow without taking this stuff off and having to get like some other kind of hunt setup, or just, I mean, is it hard? No. Unscrew the whole thing here, drop it in my bag somewhere. But that's just more stuff you're putting in your bag, right? So I was concerned about that. Come to find out, it's not a concern at all. So lastly, we'll talk about weight. When it comes to weight, it is not the lightest bag I've ever used, but it is certainly not the heaviest. It's about like the rest of them. Really, guys, I don't have a bunch of negatives to say about this bag. So I definitely think it's going to be user specific. And what I mean by that is it's going to be depending on what your goal is with the backpack. And that's the reason we do these videos, right? Is we do the videos so that we can get eyes on these different products so you can make a decision on what you're actually looking for before you go out, right? So I have always said that I believe the Walmart bags, the Game Winner bags, all those kind of bags are plenty big enough for me. So one thing is if you turn this dude to the side, right? So now you've got it here. If you were to take this back half off, the part that holds the bow, you've got a bag that's basically the same size as all the rest of the packs, right? Until you get into your more expensive high-end packs. But the big takeaway with this one is you can tote your bow in it, right? So anyways, guys, I think this is an awesome option for you guys that like to do the ground and pound, or the guys that have a lock on that's already set up in the woods somewhere, or even guys that like to walk in, pick a tree, come back out, get your gear, or you want to leave your climber in there. I do this all the time. Like, so I'll go in, find a spot, I'll hunt there that morning, decide I want to move over a couple hundred yards, I'll move over a couple hundred yards, and I never leave my bow in, right? So I'm gonna carry it in and out. When I go in that morning, I have my climber on my back, come out. When I get ready to go back in that next, that afternoon, or that next morning, if I do an all-day sit, then this is most certainly something I could use, because I can just put my bow right there in the back of it and move out. I like it. It is what it is. It's user-friendly for the person that's going to need it. Like I say in every video, guys, I call us the 1%ers because if it can help me 1% of the time, I'm going to use it. It's a tool in a toolbox. It's not a one-size-fit-all, but nothing is. So, guys, that's all I got for y'all today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell up top. You never know when we're going to do a product you just might need. Good hunting, guys.